Alright, so now that I've got my charts down here, I've got all my data in a spreadsheet, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a presentation. So I'm going to go into my Google Drive, click Create Presentation, and I'm going to go ahead and give this a theme. I'll choose Spotlight because we're talking about movies here. Click OK, and then I'll give it a title. This will be Favorite Movies, and the title screen here will be My Favorite Movies by the numbers. Make that a little smaller. And by your name would go there. Next, I'm going to go ahead and insert another slide. So in this case, the first one I'll do is a title and body. So one of the things that I saw inside my spreadsheet, if I go back to it there, is that this box office gross per budget. I thought this was pretty fascinating to see that Top Gun, this movie, made in 1986, the return on the investment for this movie, that the movie makers invested a certain amount of money and they got a lot of money back based on that return on investment. So I'd like to analyze that inside my presentation here. So I'm going to go back to my presentation, and the first slide I'm going to call return on investment. And inside here, I'm going to have a little bit of text that says, out of my favorite 5 movies, Top Gun had the greatest return on investment, making nearly $23 per dollar spent. Way to go, Maverick. So I'll put that over here. Over on the right side, I'm going to put, what do you think I'd want to put there? Of course, an image. So I'm going to go out to Google. I'm going to search for Top Gun images. I'm going to grab this here, one of these, that's a nice looking one there. I'm going to copy the image, go back here, right click, paste, and then kind of make it fit nicely in this space over here. So there's my first slide, return on investment. Now, I want to show that with some stats, right? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and insert another slide. This one will be blank. And I'm going to go back to my favorite movie spreadsheet here. And this budget, box office gross per budget, I want to insert this. So I'm going to go ahead inside here and just click Copy Chart. And you can see it says copying to clipboard. Down here it says I can now paste it into new documents. Now if I just go back in here and I click right click paste, nothing happens. But over here, if I go under Edit, Web Clipboard, I can see that right now I have this box office gross per budget there, and I can paste that in right here. And now it's a nice looking, so as I'm presenting my favorite movies, I could say, oh, here's a summary that I've done. You want to see the data? I'll go to that next slide right there and show you, oh yeah, Catching Fire, very little compared to Top Gun and Back to the Future and Dumb and Dumber. So you're going to end up doing a slide, for each of you're going to write a little bit, 2 sentences is fine, have an image, and then show your data there. And you can do that 4 times for each of your items that you've analyzed. So when you're done with this project, you'll have two different documents or files to submit. One will be your Spreadsheets file, which will have your analyzed stats in there, and it'll have your charts in here, different tabs down at the bottom. And then the other will be your presentation, in which you've kind of done some reflecting on what those numbers mean. So your presentation will look like this. It'll be 9 slides, I think. Basically, you'll have a title slide. You'll have, for each of your 4 things that you're presenting, you're going to have a title, an image, and then a quick sentence or 2 kind of explaining what it is. So for the return on investment,
Out of my 5 favorite movies, Top Gun had the greatest return on investment, $23 per spent, or $23 per dollar spent. And then I show the chart for that next. Screen share. As expected, Catching Fire and Harry Potter played on the most screens for the opening weekend, while Top Gun played on surprisingly few screens. So I would show, that, and then I'd have this screen share chart there. Next, starting off strong, I'm going to compare opening weekend to worldwide gross, and then show the data. And then last, I'm going to have around the world, I'm going to compare Top Gun and Harry Potter in box office domestically, meaning the U.S. The difference is slight, but when you go worldwide, you can see that Harry Potter has a huge difference compared to Top Gun worldwide. So this shared file will also be linked to your ePortfolio. Those are the 2 things you'll submit.